All right, Ash, time for a little more inside Pac-12 football. She actually just made reference, EA, to Christian McCaffrey and John Ross. Both the guys actually were fantastic this past week, not to mention their teams won. Explain to me how one player can really change the dynamic of an entire team.
Well, again, when you have the explosive, I think that's where it starts. You have to be explosive. You have to be a guy who can get the ball in multiple positions, out wide, punt returner, kick returner, all those things that help your football team in any phase of the game helps. And we have so many guys who are so diverse in our conference. They're all going to do an outstanding job. But those two guys in particular have that great burst that you don't really see every day in every football team.
Yeah, a little bit earlier we were talking about South teams. I brought up defense for Arizona. That was a major issue for Oregon heading into this season. They bring in a new defensive coordinator in Brady Hoke. They go from 3-4 to the 4-3. The Aggies hung tough with them. Time of possession heavily in their favor as well. What struck you about what you saw on that unit? Yeah,
first of all, when you go to a 4-3 in college, quarterback's going to be able to see the mismatches very early. And your cornerbacks and your safeties and your outside linebackers or nickelbacks, those guys are going to have to do a tremendous job of tackling in the open field, because when you walk up to the line of scrimmage, you know, the 4 down linemen are there, the 2 middle linebackers, and then you have such spread on your football field. So right now, what I see with Oregon, they're going to have to do an outstanding job of tackling one-on-one, a lot of pick routes against their one-on-one coverage. And that's what I saw in the game. I saw a lot of opportunities that UC Davis had because of the slips and the screens and those kind of things. They have to do a better job of tackling one-on-one or alter their 4-3 a little bit once you get into division and face stiffer competition.
You know, EA, during our training camp tour, we had a couple of our analysts that were roaming at all the different schools, and people were fairly high on Washington State, maybe some more than Oregon, and yet a year ago it was Portland State, this year it's Eastern Washington. In terms of those opening game losses, what was the most disappointing aspect of the Cougars falling off?
Yeah, I think defensively, again, I think when you start to look at FCS opponents, you got to do a better job of tackling, and I just didn't see the tackling out in the open field enough, and then the busted coverage on the back end. You just can't have that if you're going to be Wazoo, because Wazoo is going to be fast-paced on offense and give that ball back to the opposing offense. Your defense is going to have to do some things a little bit different to be successful.